Ladies and gentlemen, the 34 indictments, the 34 felonies that Trump is charged with, according to Jonathan Turley, constitutional scholar Jonathan Turley for George Washington University Law School, there is no crime. So there are 34 times where essentially the DA copies and pastes concealing another crime in order to make these indictments felonies, but didn't include the crime that's being covered up. Because, quote, the law does not so require. Okay, there's an article here, New York Post. Bragg's case is a legal mess. What is he even charging Trump with? Then Jonathan Turley says it will likely, or should be, dismissed prior to trial because of how vague and ambiguous the statutes are. Quote, at some point, Bragg will have to state the actual criminal basis for the 34 counts. Until then, history and Trump will simply have to wait for him. Jonathan Turley is an attorney and professor at George Washington University Law School. This is the New York Post. This is a New York Post article. Bragg's case is a legal mess. What is he even charging Trump with? And then you have CBS News. So for anyone who thinks this is so outlandish, this isn't true at all, CBS News. Trump awarded $121,000 in legal fees from Stormy Daniels. The Hill. Trump awarded more than $121,000 in legal fees from Stormy Daniels. This is a judgment. Fox News. Trump awarded nearly $122,000 in attorney fees. National Review. Stormy Daniels ordered to pay Trump nearly $122,000 in legal fees. Now, this is the embodiment of criminality in our age. Donald Trump, the Orange Al Capone, simultaneously being indicted for felonies linked to some mysterious crime that he has not been accused of in the indictment. So the indictment, I believe, lists 34 attempts at covering up a crime, but doesn't list the crime that he's covering up, which is, I think, is because he hasn't been fined by the FEC even. But the FEC did fine the Clinton campaign and the DNC. So there are 34 payments to Michael Cohen, but there's actually no underlying crime that he's trying to commit alongside those payments viewed as felonies within the indictment. Very bizarre, very hard to understand, or hard to follow. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. This could be thrown out. It'll definitely be thrown out on appeal, but it could be thrown out even before it gets to trial. Reason being, the indictment doesn't list the underlying crime that Trump had tried to engage in. It only lists 34 misdemeanors linked to a crime on the federal level. So he paid Michael Cohen in New York for legal services, and the 34 indictments are linked to that, but for them to be felonies, they have to be linked to an actual federal crime that's not listed. Furthermore, according to Harmeet Dillon, Trump's attorney, and this is amazing, and this is why you have to hit subscribe to this channel right now. Read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. Patreon is below. To my super thanks. Thank you. $600,000. Collectively, our firm obtained over $600,000 in attorney's fees, awarded in his meritless litigation in the meritless litigation initiated by Stormy Daniels. So think about this for a second. Okay. He is being accused of felonies. The FEC did not view him to have committed a felony. The FEC fined Clinton and the DNC for purchasing a Steele dossier with money from Bernie Sanders' campaign, by the way. Okay, in case you're keeping score or you're watching, we are still living in 2016. Democrats have managed to transform their rampant corruption into something Trump did as a felony. I don't know how, but only they can do this. It's kind of like Democrats have found a way to like invest in a failed company and still become rich. And so they cheated Bernie Sanders in 2016. The DNC emails showed that they manipulated the primary. It was not a fair and neutral primary. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign because the DNC email showed that she had lied and others had lied to voters. And then she went to the Clinton campaign. Eventually, the Clinton campaign and the DNC purchased a Steele dossier. The Steele dossier accused Trump of things he never did. It was completely fake and phony and fabricated news. And then 7 years later, he's then accused, Trump is then accused of a felony because of a federal, an FEC crime that he committed that the FEC didn't view to be a crime, but viewed the DNC and Clinton campaign to have committed. Okay, and so now he's actually defeating Stormy Daniels in court, the same person who claims that that he engaged in this criminal endeavor with Michael Cohen. She keeps losing, and she keeps losing to him to the tune of $122,000 for a defamation case that she couldn't bring forth. So she waited actually until, her attorney was actually working for Hillary Clinton's super PAC, which that's all you need, or working alongside. So Michael Avenatti was working alongside a Hillary Clinton super PAC. And that super PAC, that Hillary Clinton super PAC, was helping Michael Avenatti's 2020 presidential run. If you can, this is like the most hilarious, like slapstick comedy here. Democrats are like the Keystone Cops of political corruption. They're just all over the place, but they still have, I don't know how, but they have a great deal of influence. Well, they have Democrats within New York leveling state laws against Trump, but not even listing the actual specific crime on a federal level that he committed. And also, you have the one person, in addition to Michael Cohen, who is a convicted felon and liar, through his attorneys, a written statement, and lied to Congress. Very good witness. You have Stormy Daniels, who is such a flawed, let's say, character that she keeps losing to Trump in court, and she's lost around $600,000 in legal fees to Trump. This is according to CBS News, The National Review, and The Hill. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Okay? Meanwhile, you have everything from narcotics to financial transactions and banking, financial crimes, all of these kickbacks, all of these very, very serious felonies from Hunter's laptop. And you had Clinton, and I believe Hillary Clinton will be the 24 nominee. You have Hillary Clinton, who had servers running outside the U.S. government that were unencrypted at one point, siphoned classified data, top secret intel, SAP intel, completely illegal, and it's impossible to do so from a cyber perspective. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Trump could have this tossed out before trial.